Black SUVs shredded my gravel driveway like a task force on a mission, their tinted windows glinting in the morning sun. My heart missed a beat. Men in sharp suits poured out earpieces and black jackets, screaming. Authority. For a moment, I thought I'd fallen back into my old life. Decades of drug raids, espionage, and high-stakes ops. But no, that was finished. This was my quiet retirement. Yet here I stood, confronted federal agents, all because of a 60-year-old HOA tyrant named Dolores Tatum. And there she was, smug as a fox, in a hen house, watching from her porch. It started 2 months ago when I moved to this peaceful ranching community, seeking peace after a career as a senior FBI agent. I'd chased cartel kingpins, busted arms rings, and solved high-profile fraud cases. Nationwide, a ranch seemed the perfect escape. I had no clue Dolores would turn on those. Crooks are tame, short, wiry, with hair pulled so tight it could snap. She ruled the HOA like a dictator. Our first encounter came soon. She showed up, uninvited, clipboard in one hand, tape measure in the other, as I unpacked. She lectured me on mailbox height, driveway angles, and flagpole rules. I wrote it off as quirky neighbor stuff. Big mistake. Soon I noticed Dolores treated the HOA handbook like her own personal law, bending to her caprices. She cited me for a trash can, out 5 minutes late, labeled my grill an illegal structure, and complained my sage green mailbox was off palate. I brushed her off at first. Worse egos hadn't bothered me in the FBI, but she was relentless. One night, I entertained old FBI friends with a barbecue beer steaks. War stories. Dolores stormed to my fence, snarling that my visitors' cars were blocking emergency access, though my driveway could fit 2 ambulances. "You'll regret this," she spat, stalking off. I figured it was her usual rant. 2 days later, the violations began: red slips for illegal structures, $50 for a high fence, $75 for my house number on a plank one dawn. I caught her sneaking onto my property, slapping tags on my gate like a rogue meter. Mate, I stormed to her door, pounding until her wreath rattled. She answered smug, as always. Problem. "Jack, yeah, Dolores," I snapped. "If you spent half as much time minding your own business as you spend trying to find me, we'd be happier." "Oh, honey," she laughed. "I'm enforcing rules. I know the law better than you. I deserve this as harassment." "We'll see," she said. "I've got county connections. Don't try me." I laughed. Cartel lords hadn't scared me. What could she do? A week later at 7 a.m., those SUVs proved me wrong. Agents swarmed out, one barking. "Jack Grayson, that's me," I said. "Whaley, FBI reports of suspicious activity here." He said, scanning my ranch like I was hiding a meth lab. I stifled a laugh. "You're kidding." Dolores beamed across the street, phone in hand, her grin shouting, "Victory, I'm an FBI agent," I said, flashing my badge. The lead agent blinked, glanced at Dolores, then back. She tipped us, said, "You're stashing weapons? Maybe trafficking." I laughed, thundering. "Dolores, you called the FBI on me for what, my push-ups? You're not above rules," she shrieked. "I've seen your drills, my workouts." I grinned. The agents apologized. Dolores swore this isn't over. I knew then she wasn't just nosy. She was deranged. I'd fought criminals, but she was a new beast. This, where me, was on post-FBI fiasco. I figured her to back off, calling feds over yard exercise. Isn't a win, but Dolores doubled down. A flood of violation slips. Hit grass too long. Uneven fence slats. Wrong garage door color. One claimed my labs. Max and Duke were unlicensed. Livestock dangerous. It'd be funny if it weren't personal. I confronted her again, waving the papers. "This is absurd. Finding me for dogs, Section 12. Be chic, see pets need. HOA registration. Yours don't. No guard dogs. Allowed they labs. One's afraid of flies. Register them." She smirked and mowed that. That jungle she wasn't playing. She was wearing. I started documenting FBI instincts. Kicked in, evidence beats manipulators, I recorded. Her snapped PS of her, tagging my fence, set up a camera within 48 hours. It caught her at night with red tape and clipboard. She wasn't solo. Rumors pointed to Victor Hensley, a slick HOA board guy known for rule twisting. Digging revealed he jacked up fees, threatened foreclosures with fake violations. Dolores was his muscle. I wore the board, but Victor's influence held. At the next meeting, they pushed safety ordinances. My ranch a risk for wildlife boars from neighboring woods I baited with open trash secured in my garage. They were sly, not just petty. I went proactive, reaching FBI contacts and financial crimes. They uncovered Victor skimming HOA funds, thousands for improvements that never happened. Dolores got consulting money fraud. Not just grafted before I could respond, she struck again, making a county complaint that my ranch was in zoning violation. A county friend of hers came up scowling-faced, speaking of my firewood as insect haven, threatening condemnation in 30 days. Victor pulled strings. They wanted me out, broke or bullied, but they underestimated me. I gathered evidence of Dolores trespassing her phony violations, and the fraud evidence then took it to a federal prosecutor. I trusted an investigation was launched, but Dolores sprayed illegal operation on my barn one night. Caught on tape, you're done, I said as she stacked, can't prove it. She stuttered, dropping the can. My phone displayed the clip you'd just done. The fallout was brief, Victor's embezzlement unfolded. Taking Dolores down kickbacks from phony projects put her in cuffs. Her HOA reign fell apart as she was taken away screaming about misunderstandings. I smiled days later. Her letter arrived in my mailbox, not threats, but a confession. She'd failed the FBI test decades ago, admired my career, and ran the HOA to deal with it. I filed it away, peace came back. Weeks later, sirens shattered my tranquility. Sheriff's vehicles, a SWAT van, and cruisers descend my ranch. Dolores, wearing a sun hat, smirked across the street as officers surrounded me. Jack Grayson, one growled. We suspect illicit activity, full search. I laughed. This is Dolores, right? Anonymous tip, firearms, explosives, drugs, he said rigidly. I glared at her. Glee, they ransacked my barn shed. Even firewood, nothing clean. An officer muttered. Theorists babbled about odd men in boxes to unimpressed cops who left apologizing. She retreated fuming next day. A violation tagged my barn as a Hazard County sealed. She'd roped in an INSP specter to fake soil contamination claims, pushing for condemnation. Furious, I took my evidence videos, docs fraud, proof to a county hearing. Dolores strutted in confident with her lies. My footage of her vandalism, spray paint, trash, fake spills, silenced the room. Her smugness vanished. The board voided her claims, warned her off, and she slunk away. This ain't over, she spat in the parking lot. It is. I said next time, it's the FBI. Peace settled. The HOA, dissolved in the scandal violation, ended. My labs relaxed free. A letter came. Dolores bared her soul, widowed, lost, clinging to power after the FBI test. I felt a pang of pity, but continued. Months later, she appeared as I fixed my roof, still climbing, like you're 20. She said no venom. She handed me a legal envelope in her face, facing charges for Victor's fraud, in need of assistance. I did know how deep he was. She implored me, uncovered evidence he'd threatened her. Had her sentence lowered to probation service counseling. She departed, cookies in a trembling, thanks. Dolores diminished quieter. Waving slightly as she disappeared with her dog, a final note. I'm sorry Jack closed it. My ranch was mine. The mayhem gone, she taught me patience, resilience, even forgiveness. I had a beer on my porch, dogs at my feet smiling at the quiet victory.